What's up, guys? I hope you're all doing really well. This is my SummerSlam prediction show, 2023. I hope you guys are all having a really good day. My last one I did was NXT Great American Bash. If you haven't gone and check that one out, definitely recommend it, guys. I do actually apologise if there's any noise in the background. You might be able to hear the telly that's coming from another room. I've tried my best to limit the background noise, but if you do hear anything, then I'm very sorry about that, guys. But let's jump straight in now, guys. I'm using a slideshow to use for each match. If you've seen my videos in the past, it's worked really well. So if you do like that kind of thing, then I hope that you like this one. But definitely post in the comments what you guys think of the layout of my video. Be really cool to hear your thoughts on that stuff, guys. But let's jump straight in. The first match will be for Battle Royal. I'm going with an LA Knight win here just because I don't think there's many people that are going to be up this. I would love to see Grayson win. He's one of my favourite guys, but can't see them giving the win to Grayson. Not based on the booking. I think they're trying to get him to get some heel heat, and I'm quite surprised they put him in the match here, if I'm being honest, because I thought they was going to do his talk show and do that kind of thing, because he was going to call it The Rock or something, or call it a legend. That's what I'll do with him instead. I wouldn't waste time with him in this match. And then the others, I think you got Nakamura who's in it. He's going to feud with Tommaso Ciampa, so both of them guys ain't doing anything. They're probably going to be going into a feud. Sucks for Tommaso Ciampa, because I really think they dropped the ball with him, but they wanted him in this feud with Nakamura. I'm guessing that's just a feud for him to get back into the ring, because he's been out of it for a long time, but just sucks. As a big fan of the guy, I want to see this guy be put in the title pictures and that, but I get it. They want to see if he's as good as he was in the past, so they don't want to risk anything in case something were to happen to him. So I get it. So with that sense, it's only LA Knight who I think is really up for this, and I think you keep the fans happy by having the guy win. But yeah, I think it's a very straightforward one with him. Then we jump into the second one, which is Ricochet and Logan Paul. This one's a very straightforward one. I think you go with Logan Paul. He gets the heat for the win over him, and as you guys saw on Raw, they're going with that same arc of he wants to get into Ricochet's head by when he was talking about his fiance. So it's very blatant. They're going with Logan Paul here. I think it's very clear with that one. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good match. I think it's going to be a spot fest. I think it's going to be one of the matches of the night, and I think it's going to be a really good one, guys. Post in the comments, guys. What's is this a match that you're looking forward to? Be really good to hear your thoughts on that, guys. But yeah, let's go into the third one, which is Rhodes versus Brock 3. Right now they're 1-1, and yeah, it's looking really good for these two. I think the feud's dragged on a bit too long, and a bit longer than I would have liked. So in that sense, I would have just made it just one match and made it just go mental. But they haven't. They've dragged it out for 3 matches. I don't know why. I really think it's a waste of time for both of them. I'm just hoping they finish this feud very soon. As soon as this show, I'm hoping, because it's a feud that ain't done any any side good. I don't think it's done anything for Rhodes. I think it's been a filler for Rhodes since WrestleMania, and it's a waste of time for Brock as well. But we know they're both going to bring it in this match. They're both brilliant talents. But I was literally saying this to a few people the other day. What are they actually in a feud for? Like, what is actually the reason for them to have dislike towards each other? Apart from the time when Brock took Rhodes out in front of his mum and I think it was his kids as well. Apart from that, what actually was the point? I really just don't get it, guys. I really don't. If someone could sum that up for me, it'd be brilliant. But I really don't see the point. But I think they've missed a massive chance to go mad with this match. Like, you're telling me they've been in 2 straight matches, and the third one you can't even add a special match type or something. I think that's kind of BS, if you ask me. I think they've really missed the ball on that one, and yeah, that really sucks, guys. I'll be completely honest. This is a match I think can go probably about 10 to 15 minutes at most, but we know Brock's a move fest guy now, and he's a big game player, and in that sense you're not going to get like a 5 out of 5 match from Brock. But what you are going to get is you're going to get a top match, and lots of people will tune in to that match just to see Brock, and that is the appeal that Brock has. I don't think that's the appeal that Rhodes has yet. I really don't, and I think that's what they got to try and get for Rhodes, is for them to make him be seen as the appeal that Brock has. If you like Brock or not, you know of him, and you know what he's bringing. I personally think Brock's on his last few legs in terms of in the ring. I don't think Brock's got a lot left, and I think he's going to start to put some talents, like he's going to allow them to go and get the win. He's going to go and put them over. So, but we're going to see if that is true though, guys. But yeah, I'm going with Rhodes. This match I've been really excited for. This is Rousey versus Shayna, and there's been big rumours that Rousey has asked for her release, and apparently in her contract most of the talents have to stick around, but for her apparently she has an outing in her contract which states whatever point she can just get up and leave. And they did this, I think they did this because they knew the name that she is, so they wanted to find any way they could get her in. And by doing that, there's a lot of risks with that. They know the talents that she brings in that sense, and that can be good and bad. But if the rumours are true, I'm going with Shayna. I don't know how Shayna wins. If you guys don't know, it's a MMA rules match, which I'm guessing that means knockout or submission. So, can someone please answer me this? Why wasn't it just made a fight pit? A fight pit would have been so much more interesting. I love that match. I don't know why they've not brought it back. It's one of the matches they should have brought back. It would do so well for so many talents that are not wrestling based, and they just want to get in there and literally just have a fight. Like, there's a difference of having a fight and wrestling, and some people are better at the fighting than the wrestling side of it. It helps so many talents. Like Matt Riddle was one of them that was really good in that kind of match type, and it did well for so many others. I just don't get it. I think this would have been a brilliant match to bring it back in. They could have set the level, because you know this match is going to be really good. The build has been brilliant, and if you guys just saw the video package they just done on this Raw Gone, they have done an incredible job. One of the best women's feuds that they have built up in a long time. I care more about this match than I care for the women's title match. I'm not even joking. Just the build's been better. The match might be better for the women's, but in terms of the booking, and the way they built it, this match is better, and we'll have to see what match does better. But I think not having this in the fight pit, I think that's a massive chance miss. But let's see what they do with the match type that they're bringing in. It might be good, so I'm going to give that a chance. But I really want to know how Shayna could pull off a win against Rousey here, because there ain't many times that she's lost. She ain't tapping. So what's going to happen? Is she going to pass out if she was going to lock in that chokehold? I really want to know what they're actually going to do, because it's very fascinating to know what they've actually got planned, guys. So yeah, that would definitely be something that I definitely want to see what they're going to do in that sense. But let's move on to the next one, which is the 5th match on the card. And speaking of the women's match, this feud has been so disappointing. This is a dream match for me and for so many other fans of women's wrestling, and what they've done, I think they've really just been lazy with it, if I'm being honest. All they've done, they've all had a match against each other, and you knew it was going to be a non-finish, and the other person was going to get involved. It was filler. That they were doing filler points, and that's lazy. I've seen it in a lot of the women's matches very recently, that they're doing filler based to build stuff, and it's very lazy. And this match, I think, Asuka has to win here for me. If she does not win here, disgraceful. That is me putting it kindly, because if you don't have her win here, you don't get her versus Io. You don't get that story, and it would be the WWE thing ever if they went with Belair versus Flair. Because right now, in terms of what they're trying to build, that seems to be what they're going for. They're going for Flair versus Belair, so that's what it seems like they're going for, guys. But yeah, it's very frustrating one, as I'm a big fan of the champion, and I think they've really dropped the ball with her a lot, and I really feel sorry for her in lots of ways, guys. I really do, and I'm just hoping she pulls out a win here. Apparently, she said on SmackDown that she has a plan. I want to know what that plan is. Is that just mind games, or has she actually got a plan? Has she actually got a plan to walk out champion here? I personally think all she means by that is, like, Belair and Flair are going to be so focused on each other, then she picks up these straps. I don't think there's going to be, like, I see lots of people saying they think Sane's going to return. Good old Kairi Sane. I don't see it. If they did it, amazing. I love her. I would love to see it, but I really don't. I don't think there's going to be a lot of returns from the show. I'm hoping I'm wrong, because that would be a terrific return, and it would make a lot of sense for her to help her. But I just can't see it, especially the way they've been on bad terms with her since she left, and yeah, it would. I just couldn't see it. I can't see it, and I'm hoping I'm wrong, because that would be a really cool return for them to do. That would be really cool, I must say. But yeah, it don't make any sense for Belair to win it back. She lost the title. I personally, if she wins it back here, you should never have dropped it, and you just ruined a great reign. So her winning here does more damage than good. And Flair, we know, she's going for what is it, the 15th or 16th? I really actually couldn't care. Most of her reigns are literally hot potato when she had that feud with Sasha Banks. So when they try and say she's has all of these reigns in such a short time, look at each reign and just look at like how long she held each belt, and it's like I don't count that. I really don't, and I'm annoyed that they have Flair to be used like that, and because for me, she's top 3 women wrestlers in the world right now. Not in terms of her character, but in terms of her ring work. No one does it like her, and I don't think any talent is going to do it like her. I think the only talent I probably have in front of her in terms of wrestling wise, not as a whole package wise, but wrestling wise, one person is in this match, and that's the champion, and the other is the person with the Money in the Bank briefcase. They're the only two for me that are on her level of wrestling ability, not character work, because we know the character work should have changed a long time ago for her, but we know it most likely won't. Just like Reigns in that sense is they stick to what they know, and it's the same with the writers. They're not going to risk it because it works for them. So they're not going to change something that works. So I think I really think if anyone else apart from Asuka wins here, I think it's a massive L. I really do. I don't think it makes a lot of sense for either Flair or Belair to win here. I just think it's a silly match. It's great in terms of the women that are involved in the match, but in terms of the outcome, don't care for it. I think they've backed themselves into a corner with this, and the sooner we get to Asuka and Io, the better. Do not mess it up. Just get yourself past this point and get to Asuka and Io, because that's what fans want to see. They want to see Asuka and Io finally go at it. Give fans what they want. Like, stop wasting time on feuds like this, where she's looked like an absolute chump. Not champ, chump. Like, they've made Asuka into an absolute joke. Because what? She can't, just actually based on she can't talk on the mic. Guess what? Lots of talents can't. Like, it's not just her. And that's what I get annoyed about, when they treat the Japanese wrestlers like just a joke. I get so fed up with it. It's like, there's so many ways that you can do it. Look at her in NXT. They booked her to perfection. Like, sod the mic work and that. Just go and beat the crap out of someone. That was literally her memo. And I think that's what they should find. They did a video package for her doing that stuff, so just keep to that sort of stuff. Like, stop ruining her. It frustrates me, but that's just literally a little rant about the way they've mistreated the women's champion here. I think she should be treated much better, and I want to see her come away with a win here, guys. But let's jump into the next one. I'm going to get really annoyed with the way they've dealt with the champion. Here's the 6th match on the card. This is one of the toughest matches to call. The next 3 are tough. And Drew versus Gunther. It can go both ways. If the reign was not on the line, and I don't mean just the title, I mean the record reign. If he beats Drew here, and I think if he keeps it, I think it's a couple weeks later, and then he breaks the reign. He breaks the record of the honky tonk man. I think his name is. I honestly believe you go with that. You pick him to retain. I don't know how you do it, because how do you do it in a sense where you book Drew really well, but you've also got to book the champion very well here, and perhaps he gets effed over by the faction next to him. I don't know how they do it. And there's another main reason I don't want to see Drew win it. And I've got nothing against the guy. But he has missed 2 of the last 4 weeks of the build on Raw. Because he's been at, I think he's in a film. And he's in an acting role. If you get him to become champion now, you're going to have an inactive person who's not going to be there every single week like he is. I think it'd be silly. I think it'd be silly, and I think it would be dumb to basically change the title. I think as soon as Drew's Drew is, as soon as he's on Raw more and he's not doing the acting side of things, then I think you can consider Drew. But I think it's just very weird how it's all gone about at the moment. And if they knew about Drew's time on doing the acting, I don't think they should have had him return at the Money in the Bank to confront him. I really don't. But yeah, I'm going with the champion to keep the title here. I'm hoping he does. As much as I love Drew, I just don't think you should pass it over to someone who's not going to be there every single week. If his time's filled up now and it's like he hasn't got to miss any more weeks of Raw, I'll still go with the champ to retain just because I want to see him beat that reign. But I don't know what you do here. I really don't. I want to see what they come up with because I'm really not sure how they deal with this one. But yeah, I don't think the champion should be losing anytime soon. I personally would like to see just for him to keep the belt because I don't think he's stale. For someone that has held the belt as long as he has, not had any actual feuds and just had banger after banger, it's just brilliant, and I don't think you can really fault him for that. And you just got to give a lot of praise to him for doing that. And I think to drop the belt to someone who's not on the show right now every single week, I think that's a massive risk. And I don't think it's a risk worth taking at the moment. But that's just my thoughts on that, guys. Then we go on to match 7, which is Finn Balor versus Seth for the World Heavyweight title. This is another really tough one to call. Seth, I think his reign has been very disappointing. Not terrible, disappointing. There's a big difference in terms of the words, and I just think you have Balor win here. I really do. Their focus for Seth's entire reign has been the Judgment Day. Have Balor win, please, because they're doing this thing where they want it to be the Judgment Day, and it's got to the point where Seth has to make them look good. And I don't mean that in the sense where they ain't got the talent, but it's like the sense of he has to take a beating for them to get heat. And what is that doing for him as a champion? I don't think it's done anything for him as a champion. I just think you give it to Finn. I really do think you have the title to change hands here. I don't think you have Seth to keep it, and I think you move Seth on to other stuff. Perhaps he gets his match straight back at Finn, but yeah, I think you go with Finn here. I don't think you do it clean though. I do think they do it in a dirty fashion that keeps Seth looking strong. But yeah, the reign's been very disappointing for me as a Seth fan. It's just very clear that the focus is all on the Judgment Day. So I think you just move the belt on to the Judgment Day, and I honestly believe that that's what they should do. I think that's what they will do, especially since this is the event where Finn Balor beat Seth. So they're probably gonna bring that up for the storyline if he wants a match back at Finn. And they're going to be using this whole storyline of how Finn won it, where he won it before. So I think the story's very clear. Just annoyed the way they've dealt with Seth, if I'm being honest, it's the same way how they dealt with Owens and Zayn as champions. It's just been so strongly in the Judgment Day's hands. I think they got to find a way how to book both sides very, very in the middle. And you see a lot of reigns are like that at the moment. You see Rhea's reign is a lot like that as well. As much as I'm liking their faction, the way they dealt with so many of the title reigns, I don't think they've done a good job. I really don't. I don't think they've done a good enough job with so many of the reigns. And Seth is another one that has suffered for the poor writing. And I think it would be best for Seth if he was to lose the title here. I really do. It's what they want to do. I don't know what you do with Priest. If I'm being honest, I think they'll tease it. I see lots of people saying they should tease it, but don't have them cash it in. Only have EO to cash in tonight. And yeah, I don't really know too much on that, guys. If I'm being honest, I don't like to talk about like if this happens or if that happens. It's like it's 50-50s, and I think it could happen, but again, it's all 50-50. I personally don't think there's going to be a lot of shocks on this card. I think there's going to be lots of good wrestling, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of shock. And I'm hoping I'm wrong about that, because I do love a good shock. So for this one, yeah, I don't think it would be a shock for Finn to win, but it's got to be in a heel fashion, and I think that's what they should do here. But yeah, it's going to be a really good match for sure. But I think Rhea or Dom is going to find a way to get involved, and you probably are not going to have Owens there because Owens is out at the moment. They'll take out Zayn, and they'll just use how many people they got. And I just feel this storyline has just been dragged out a lot longer than it should have. And I think it's because they want Finn to win the title where he won it in 2016. So it's just annoying timing, because I think they've ruined Seth's reign based on the Judgment Day. So just get Finn to win it, and they can both move their own ways. They'll probably keep this feud going, but very frustrating as a Seth fan. So if they use our Seth fans, yeah, it's bad news, guys. I can see him losing here. But then we move on to the main event, and this is the main match that I've been looking forward to. It's all the video, like all of the stuff that they've done for the videos, like all of the fights, all of the build, all of the promos. This match has been years in the making, and I'm so happy they're giving Jey Uso the platform to go and show how damn good this guy is, because the guy is incredible. I would love for Jey Uso to win, but I feel this is a Drew McIntyre situation which they had in Clash at the Castle, where everyone is rooting for Jey because they think he's the guy. And if it was up to me, I would pick Jey Uso, because the story points to Jey Uso winning. It all started with Jey Uso. It should end with Jey Uso. But unfortunately, life is not a fairy tale, and you don't always get the ending that you want. And in that sense, I see Reigns winning here. There's no way they end this historic reign at SummerSlam. This reign is ending at WrestleMania. This is how they've written it. This is how they've always wanted it to be. They want that Rhodes versus Reigns 2 so badly. And it's so clear, because they see Rhodes as like this next John Cena guy, in the sense of sales, in terms of his face work. Like they see him as that next guy. They don't see that as Jey Uso. Whoever beats Reigns is going to be the guy who is the next top guy. It's not just going to be someone who's good for now or good for the main story. And as much as I like Jey Uso, it's very true. He has not won a single title in the mid-card. So would him winning this one, would this be a false push? Would it be a bit too quick for him? So you have to rethink about that sort of stuff as well, guys. So it's been a really tough one because I would love for this guy to win, but we know how it works. We know there's a level. How do I say it? There's a certain each person's on a certain level, and when it comes to the main event scene, there's got to be there's a certain way of doing things, and whoever beats Reigns is going to be the next top guy. Jey Uso, I don't think in their eyes, for me, he is one of the top guys. If he loses or wins it, it doesn't matter. He's made a name. He's put his foot forward and be like, I'm going to be this guy, and he's done an amazing job. But they don't see him the way we see him. They see him as a tag team guy with Jimmy, and I think he loses here because of Jimmy. I think Jimmy turns heel. I think he turns on Joe. I really do. I think it's too predictable with Sikoa. Jay reads Sikoa like a book. He knows what he's going to do and when he's going to do it. He sees every step coming from him. What he's not going to see coming is his brother. And you ain't seen Jimmy at all. I think Jimmy comes back in and he looks like he's going to side with Joe. I don't think he's going to even side with Reigns and Sikoa. I think he goes on his own, and you get like a Jeff versus Matt sort of feud where they both just go on their own and they're going to go into a feud because they've said they wanted this feud for themselves at WrestleMania. Perhaps they don't do it right now, but they will build towards that match, and I think that's what they're aiming to do. I personally wouldn't like to see the heel turn, but I can see it coming. You haven't seen him, you ain't seen him show up, and there's a lot of story to go off the two of them. But if it was up to me, I would not have him to turn heel just yet. It's a really tough one, but I think it's a way where you keep Jay protected and you book him in a sense that it doesn't damage him. So I think that's why I say they might go that route. But definitely post your thoughts on that one, guys. I'm going to go with Reigns to keep the belt. I say belt because he hasn't got the other two. And thank God for that. Like, you should just have that one belt. But post your comments, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts and views on it all, guys. And I wanted to quickly talk about any returns or anything like that. I don't think we'll see any returns or anything like that. I've heard Bray Wyatt, I've heard The Rock, I've heard The Viper, I've heard so many, and it's always just, what if this happens? What if that happens? It's like, it's just 50-50. But look, if you all like to have fun with that kind of stuff, I love having fun with that kind of stuff. But at times it's just a bit too much for me anyway. And I think this is something that they should really work on in that sense, is for the pay-per-views, have some shocks in there. Because I've felt frustrated for a while, especially when the Royal Rumble came around. There was no shocks. They did one in the Money in the Bank with Drew. That was really cool. But apart from that, guys, and the heel turn for Shayna, did not see that coming. Yeah, that's just my thoughts on that, guys. If you also feel the same way, then definitely post in the comments your thoughts on that kind of stuff, guys. But I'm gonna wrap it up there, guys. That's all of my matches that I've got on here, and I'll also be posting all of that stuff on my Twitter as well, where you can go or follow me if you like my videos and that. And I also stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays at 5 PM. We just finished playing Ratchet and Clank. If you like that sort of game, then go and check out the videos I've done on that. I'll be posting that on my channel here actually as well. So I hope you guys all have a great one, and I hope you guys all have fun with the show. I will not be watching it tonight. I'll be watching it tomorrow night. Because I've got to stay off all of my socials. I'm going to be watching it with a mate of mine, so I'm going to have to turn off all of the alerts and all of that kind of stuff for the entire day. So I'm going to be social media free for tomorrow until I get to watch the show, because it's going to be everywhere. So I'm going to have to stay off literally everything to avoid that stuff, guys. But it's fine though. Like I hope if yous are watching it tonight, I hope you have a great time. I hope you do have a lot of fun with it. And if you guys are watching this a bit after the show, post in the comments of this video what was your favourite match. I would love to hear it. And what is your favourite feud going into the show, and what match would you guys think is going to go and steal the show? For me, that match, storyline wise, I think it'd be Jey Uso and Roman. But wrestling wise, I think you could have Logan Paul versus Ricochet. I think you could have the women's three-way match. Or my personal favourite is Drew and Gunther. That's just my thoughts on that, guys. But definitely post your thoughts in the comments, guys. And I hope to catch you guys on the next one. And I hope you have had a lot of fun with this video. It's running a bit too long than I would have liked, but that's fine. I'm very sorry if you've heard any background noise. It's really hard to cut out the sound, but I really do try my best, guys. I hope you guys didn't hear too much of the background sound. I hope you guys all had fun on this video, and I'll catch you all on the next one, guys. Thank you very much, guys. Bye bye.